What if the most devastating war in human history never happened? No Hitler, no Holocaust, no atomic bombs, no Cold War. Would the world be more peaceful? Or would something even worse take its place? This is the world where World War II never happened. In our timeline, World War II began in 1939 when Nazi Germany invaded Poland. But imagine a timeline where Hitler never rises to power. Maybe he's arrested early. Maybe the Treaty of Versailles is less punishing. Germany struggles. But no Nazis, no invasion, no global war. The 1930s remain tense, but war never breaks out. What happens next? Without World War II, tens of millions survive. The Holocaust never occurs. Cities like Warsaw, London, and Hiroshima are never destroyed. But there's a twist. The United States? It never becomes a global superpower. It stays focused on its own borders. The Soviet Union? It keeps growing. No one stops its expansion. Japan might still invade China. But without a world war, it never attacks Pearl Harbor. The Pacific stays quiet. And without war, technology slows down. No race to build the atomic bomb. No need for radar, jet engines, or early computers. The space race? Delayed. The internet? Maybe not invented for decades. You're probably not even watching this video. What about global politics? No war means no Cold War. No NATO. No Warsaw Pact. No Berlin Wall. No Korean War. No Vietnam. But without this tension, could one power rise unchecked? Would the Soviet Union expand across Europe without resistance? Would someone else build the first nukes and use them? Then there's civil rights. World War II exposed the horrors of fascism and racism. That helped fuel the civil rights movement. It helped end colonialism. It helped build a global understanding of human rights. Without the war, these movements, maybe they never happen, or arrive decades later. Racism remains deeply institutionalized in both the United States and Europe. Without the moral reckoning of the Holocaust, the concept of human rights remains vague. The United Nations? Maybe it forms decades later, or never at all. The civil rights movement in the USA, it's not just delayed. It might fail altogether. Black Americans continue to live under Jim Crow well into the 1980s or beyond. Martin Luther King Jr.? A preacher, maybe, but not a global icon. Women's rights don't surge post-war. No Rosie the Riveter moment. Women likely remain boxed into traditional roles across the West for much longer. Colonial empires stay intact. Britain holds India longer, possibly into the 1960s. African nations like Kenya, Nigeria, and Ghana, still colonies. Possibly violent uprisings erupt without the post-war pressure to decolonize. South Africa's apartheid regime, untouched. No sanctions, no international outrage. The world avoids war, but keeps injustice. A world without World War II sounds peaceful. But peace isn't always progress. Maybe the war forced the world to change. Maybe without it, the world would be colder, slower, or even darker. What do you think? Subscribe for more alternate history and tell us, what should we rewrite next?